So, can you show this coffee?
Yeah, ready with the coffee.
And if I'm not sure whether this is visible from there. This is a black coffee without sugar. And this is the favorite for Dr. S. Natarajan. How many of you, can you tell us that one more person from Mumbai, I'm giving you a hint, that who loves this black coffee without sugar?
And,
any guess? Any guess? No.
You're not getting the eye. Now you got.
Oh. No. And do you know there are a lot of similarities between them? Both of them can work 20 hours a day. And I will not tell, you tell the other thing, that both of you have started on the same month at Mumbai, their journey.
Yeah,
Sir.
Shah Rukh Khan came by train from Delhi. He landed in Mumbai Central. And I think he was sleeping there because that was his first day. And then you know what he has done in Mumbai. I also came by train I landed in Dadar and I actually joined Bombay Hospital, but later we just started Aditya Jyot, and that's the rest is history.
And put a big round of applause for, I would like to say that Shah Rukh Khan of Indian ophthalmology. If I say Shah Rukh Khan of Indian ophthalmology, you won't mind, sir?
Not at all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now the recent is 2 days back I was with Ranveer Singh.
Oh. See, I'll come to that. Sir, don't open my whole Pandora box right now. So, would like to salute this ladies and gentlemen who has given birth to this gentleman who has actually taken the ophthalmology of Indian ophthalmology to the international level. Sir, would like to salute both of them, and if you can say few words about them.
Yeah, my father was ophthalmologist and chief of the government eye hospital. And my father's father was, his name I got, Dr. Natarajan Pillai. He was also in the same hospital. So we three of us were trained in the same government eye hospital, lived in the same compound. And he was a simple man. He didn't do private practice, he was playing tennis. But he taught me values of life. He was a strict man. But I think, he was, for me, every day I pray Mata, Pita, that's my mother, father, Guru, Dr. Badrinath, Mitra is my Shivanandan, and God. God is last.
Thank you so much, sir. But I would like to say one difference between you and Shah Rukh Khan. You are a third generation ophthalmologist.
Yes.
So you have already taken birth with a golden spoon on your mouth. Whereas Shah Rukh Khan has started from the scratch. So how do you put it this?
No, I think even though my grandfather also was a government servant, government of Tamil Nadu, and my father also was a government servant, so they were in a way like a middle class ophthalmologist in those days. And my grandfather was a LMP LO, so he was an ophthalmologist in 1930s itself, where Dr. G. N. Rao's father was there. So they were in the same quarters. And Dr. Venkateswamy was also there. So I think, only thing I can see is I was born in Madurai, but stayed in the eye hospital compound, which is 202 years old now, where all these people lived. So probably I was breathing in ophthalmology without realizing. It's in my blood, not the golden spoon. And I think even today I don't have any gold with me.
That's the exact point. So even with the golden spoon also, so he was never laid back with the golden spoon. So he has taken that spoon to feed each and everyone and feed himself, so that his first generation was in Madurai, second generation went to Chennai, and he went to Mumbai and all over the world. So this is how he has taken himself to that level. So we will go to this next. Can you identify Dr. Natarajan? Yes, the center. Can I have the pointer, please? This is Dr. Natarajan.
MMC is written.
And MMC, and he is the athlete team captain. And he was leading the whole team, since then a born leader. So athlete team captain, and this is football team captain as well. So during his childhood, he was a sportsman, and throughout the life, he has maintained that sportsmanship. Sir.
Yes, I think.
Your few memories from your childhood.
Yeah, so Steve Charles has written in the last chapter in his book, Microvitreous Surgery. So I have also written that, surgical self-education, and he calls vitreous surgery as a soccer game. That means as a football team, you don't know the opposite team's plan. You can have your own plan, and that's what is vitreous surgery. When you start, you have your own game plan, but that's what I learned. And in school, I could not be in any of the team because all were champions, and they were my Christian college school, which is also 185 years old, where our Stalin studied, and even P. Chidambaram studied, and also A. Rahman. No, I think the main thing is sound mind in a sound body was told by famous neurosurgeon Dr. And it was also the Olympic motto. That's what I learned. And I also took 3 or 4 years to become the captain. And I think every time, in the team, first year they won't take you, but you learn the real sportsman spirit, not like what's happening in the world. But I think we learn to give up, and you also learn to lose. And I think you cannot be winning every game. And I think that's what is a great, everybody should be sportive and be laughing whether you win or lose. But to participate is the most important, I learned.
Yeah, so I'll go back to the previous picture. Can you see at the age of, what was your age at that time?
I think 5, 6.
5, 6, even with the tie. Okay, so he was groomed in that way that yes, he has to be, and his aim was that I will break the barrier and go to the next level. So from there, his grooming started, and being a leader in his, early adolescence. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tashmai Sri Gurave Namah. So that's what we keep on listening from you.
Yes.
And this is the gentleman who has, transformed your life.
Yeah, so 100%. So fortunately, because of my father, I met him when the year he came back. Yeah. No, fortunately, because of my father, I knew him the day he came back from US. And he was actually even grumbling that 9 months the xenon arc coagulator was stuck up in the customs, and he actually wanted to join government eye hospital, but anyway, good, he didn't join the government. And I have seen him as a school student, and I have seen him working from morning. He was operating in VHS hospital, and he had a clinic next to OPD in St. Mary's Hospital HM Hospital in St. Mary's Road. You know who was his next neighbor? That was Dr. P.C. Reddy, the founder of Apollo Hospital. And then you can see both have created an empire. Only thing is Apollo is a corporate and Shankaranatha is a trust. And he was always, even though he was doing private practice, I think he was very meticulous, and he starts his work at 4:45 in the morning and goes on till late night. And in the previous session we had Dr. Apuguti, who was his anesthetist. So I have seen him, and then even in the medical college, whenever he wanted some help in the MMC, I have met him. So I never knew I'm going to join him, but I was impressed when I assisted Dr. Daljit Singh for intraocular lens when he came to the government hospital. Then I went to Dr. Badrinath and told him I want to do microsurgery because I want to do the penetrating keratoplasty, intraocular lens, and then the ECC bit, which nobody was doing that time. That is in '83. But he said, we don't have any microsurgery. Vitreous surgery is microsurgery, but you can join a vitreoretinal fellowship. I didn't even show my certificate because I finished the exam. Next day he told me you can join. And I think he's everything for me, because in the first month itself, for some reason, he told me he was stuck up in one case and he was going on and on. So he told, start the next case, and I didn't know how to start. So he just shouted at me, you don't know how to start a case? get out, he said. And I think nobody has scolded me like that. But that day, it was like whether to continue or go away. Because he scolded so badly. And then the sister Sarojini said that you know to start. What do you mean? I said, I don't know how to start a vitrectomy. He said, you have to give local. And then you have to open the conjunctiva, do the sclerotomy. By the time he'll come, don't worry. So I, with a great difficulty, almost in tears, I think that's the only time I cried.
So actually, you wanted to be a cataract surgeon.
No.
Initially, microsurgery you wanted to try, but actually, Chief has thrust him to this other world.
Correct. But I think he found.
So tell us the truth. How many times Chief has actually scolded you and has given a bash to you?
No, that's the only time. See, that is
the only time.
We say in Tamil, or nalla mattukku or nalla sudu. That means for a cow, just one, you give one fire, this thing, a scar, that will remember. So I remembered. After that, I knew how to work under him, and I think it was like a friendship. We used to finish OT and go together to do second show, me and him, nobody else, in his ambassador car. And he'll come back to the hospital at 1 o'clock and say, Nati, go and check whether all the tube lights are on or off and the AC off.
So the work was still from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m.
That's right.
This is the point to note, that 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. he was, except the part when they were used to go to sleep, and then again early morning,
yes.
Even start with the breakfast and then
7 o'clock. Because if you don't do the dressing by 7:45, he will say, thank you very much, I will do the dressing. He will do that. And because he became so friendly, so I think that one, I also want one more black coffee.
So I think this is, Can you bring one more black coffee?
A hot one.
Till then, please enjoy, sir.
I'll do that. Thank you. So I think one thing is important is to learn how to be meticulous from him. Once you are meticulous, I think he never scolds you. So I learned to anticipate and think like him. This is what people they don't understand, the fellows, which I don't know how to transfer the skill. What's going on between the 2 ears in the brain? This fellow cannot see it in the side tube. So the problem is they all want to see the surgery, but they don't know what I'm doing in the mind. And that's what I learned from Dr. Badrinath. I think that's where everything, I've seen in all moods. So many times, like I have gone on 11:45 and I wished him birthday on February 23rd, which nobody has the guts to do, but I will do. And even after this bypass surgery, nobody went, I went. Even now in COVID.
That's why whenever Chief was actually very active, and when they used to see you, we could see the love in on his eyes, and he used to tell Nati, come here first. So this is how in short about his Shankar Netralayam days. Sir, did you plan your name, Dr. S. Natarajan, SN, with the SN Shankar Netralayam? So how did you plan that?
No, it is planned by the Almighty. If you saw, the birthday of Shankar Netralayam is September 6th and mine is September 4.
So this is actually the Almighty has planned this thing. I will come with this. This is a point to note, and I'll come that there are a lot of things which he has used to follow, and that is actually has come true in his life. This is your dream.
Yes. So we had Dr. J.N. Rao and Dr. Badrinath, and this was July 15, 1990, and I think. So when we started the hospital, Dr. Badrinath came even 3 months before and said, how will you do an OT here like Shankar Netralayam? I said, no, I will do that. And we called it a Center for Retina Surgery and Research. And I called it a hospital because I wanted to be equal to Jaslok or Bombay Hospital and Hinduja. And that's why I wanted to call myself medical director, because chief was medical director. So I did that. And it was not childish, but I think I tried to emulate everything what he did. Unfortunately, I also became short-tempered, fighting with staff.
Initially, you have joined to Bombay Hospital.
Yes.
So, and you have not been given as a head of the department, though you were the full-time there.
No, they gave me. Then only I came.
So that's how you have come.
They promised me whatever Dr. Jovanovic, second mentor, had, they will give me. They didn't give. So and finally, I decided to start.
So that is the thrust for you to develop Aditya Jyot.
That's right.
So that's what, if he thinks that, yes, I need to do something, he will do it.
Yes. I had a child psychology. When somebody says you cannot do, I will do.
This is exactly he describes himself. And this is the beginning of in the year of 1990, and from 2004 onwards.
Thank you.
This is the beginning. This is the Aditya Jat Eye Hospital. See, you have told that values they have put in you.
Yes.
But to carry that values and the the zeal to do the good work is still persisting. The evidence is here. He has flew down from Bombay to Kashmir to operate 200 patients there. Every month he used to go for 5 months consecutively during that curfew, and he used to operate there 3 consecutive days from morning 9 a.m. to midnight.
Yes.
Continuously he used to work there and take out those pellets, which was, this was during this pellet injury was a big, massive thing. And it has come out to all the newspaper of Bombay, Delhi, and all over India.
Front
Hindu,
page of New York Times.
even the New York Times.
Now Santosh is going
so
to put
this
it in
this is
front
how
page of IGO.
this is shows your energy level. So, what is secret of your energy? What is the boost of that secret of energy? If you don't want to tell us,
No, the secret is
fine.
eat chilies, black coffee, bitter coffee is enjoyable, and Om Namah Shivaya through Swami Vivekananda.
That's so we'll start drinking black coffees from today now. So that's what I was talking about. He is a vitreoretinal surgeon. So he could have restricted himself to this vitreoretinal surgeon. So at those age, the eye bank thrust was very, very needed. And it was very rudimentary stage in Bombay. So he took, he never thought himself as a vitreoretinal surgeon. So why should I go into this eye bank thing? So he has taken the help of all the celebrities from there and for his NGO with the eye bank. This is the promotional pictures for a few of them, if you can tell about those things.
So in 2004, I believe this law of attraction. Whatever you believe, you will get. So during the inauguration, I wanted all the major institutions of India. Dr. G.N. Rao was there, RP Center, Dr. Tiwari was there, Dr. Badrinath, Dr. and all the, Dr. Azad, Dr. Lalit. And then that time I decided we should have the eye bank inaugurated only by Aishwarya Rai. So 1 month before that, everybody told me how she will come. Anyway, I found contact through one of my childhood friend. He was related to Aishwarya Rai. And then we contacted. Till 3 days before, there was no message. But I decided, no, I will get her. And then somehow the call came and she told me she wants to meet me alone. So I went and met her. And then she said, I've already done the due diligence that you will not exploit me. That's why I'm decided to come. So she told me, I could have charged you 5 crore. I said, then I will not be here. I don't want to pay you also, neither, and I can't pay 5 crore in 2004 also. Even today, why should we waste money? So I knew, she said, no, what will I do with my beautiful body? I'm going to donate when I die. I said, that's the best reason I'm here. And she came, you won't believe, she asked me, and even Gulapalli Rao was there, she told me, I want to propagate this message to the entire. Now I remember Dr. Patnaik asking me, how the hell your news comes in Punjab Kesari, man? I said, I don't know, you have to ask Aishwarya Rai. So I think she was very interested in, she wanted to promote her own, because in 94 also, as a Miss World, she promoted eye donation. Then 10 years later, when she became the Bollywood actress, I requested. Even then she came again, even for her birthday she supported. Same thing with Hrithik Roshan. November 1st is Aishwarya Rai, November 2nd is Shah Rukh Khan, and Hrithik Roshan is January 10.
So he has never restricted himself to his own surroundings. So he has always gone beyond that limit, and he has crossed the limit every time he has crossed the bar. So that's why he has become Dr. S. Natarajan. When he was president, at that time, Professor Kalam visited Aditya Jyot. And the purpose was to, he has created that NGO at that time, and the name was of that NGO was coined by Professor Kalam, and the name was
Aditya Jyot Foundation for Twinkling Little Eyes. He used to tell me, I think Santosh will know, there is a Little Heart Foundation in Hyderabad with Dr. Reddy or Rao. So he was his good friend. He said, can you put a twinkle in the eyes, and why not you do, because I did a free surgery. He said, you should do more charity because you're running a private hospital. I said, okay, sir. Then he gave the name. I told him, you give me the name. So he said, put a twinkle. Then I suggested 3 things, and he selected Aditya Jyot Foundation for Twinkling Little Eyes.
So what exactly you do with this?
So we are screening the entire Mumbai slums for both diabetic retinopathy and whatever comes, glaucoma, cataract. And we do free for the people who can't afford. And charitable surgery. Now, because we have merged with the corporate, the charitable surgery we have doing in a hospital in Dharavi itself.
And you are a Guinness Book World Record holder for holding the largest number of camps in the largest slum in the world, Dharavi. So I cannot finish in this stipulated time about the achievement. Okay, so we'll come to that. Roti Bank. I think, sir, if anybody can focus here, can you focus it here? He is still wearing it as a roti bank here. So, even he thinks for Akhono, he has the jill to do something new and good things. And that's what he is keep on doing. লোকের জন্য এখনো মন কাঁদে অন্য ক্ষুধার্ত মানুষকে দেখলে তাদের মুখে রুটি তুলে দেওয়ার জন্য he is trying his best level.
So Mahakavi Bharati is our national poet, was born in Ettayapuram, and he said that if somebody goes hungry to bed, we should abolish the entire jagat, that means entire world. He says nobody should go hungry, but unfortunately millions are sleeping without one meal also a day in India. And that's how Shivanandan, my best friend, who's a retired Director General of Police, decided, he learned from another person in Coimbatore, and then we decided, we used to collect used food and distribute 3 years back, and during COVID we decided that we will have our own kitchen. So we have an automated kitchen now. We have automated making chapatis, and we give daily roti, rice, dal and vegetable to 11,000 people a day. During the COVID, when they were migrating, we gave 37,000 people a day free. So he has collected few crores from all the corporate, and I think it's a great feeling. We have 12 vans, 12 drivers and 12 attenders to distribute the food. Many times when I get foreign faculty with me, I make them go and serve, which they have a great feeling of feeding the poor people outside cancer, Tata Hospital, KEM Hospital and other slums of Mumbai.
We'll listen from you that how to manage so many things together, and if I start telling you secretary and president of different society, the whole today's program will end with that. This is OTSI, President of IOS, ex-President of IOS, ex-President of BOA, MOS, and International Trauma Society, International Genetic Consortium. So wherever he finds interest, he is there to run the show. So this is how the Jill. So one more round of applause for his, this level of energy that a person can do so many things together along with his clinical work. So this is the Kamla. This is this is the parents' name, Mrs. Kamla and Dr. Sundaram. So this is Kamla Sundaram Foundation. Actually, the little twinkle eye, that has been taken over by this foundation right now. So this is the NGO which is running the whole show for the, right now. This changeover is for last month.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, this is the achievement. This is not achievement. This is our achievement to put him into this IOC, and this all India, you have taken the Indian ophthalmology to the international level. So you have been editor IGO,
yes.
Then chairman scientific committee,
yes.
Then chairman ARC,
yes.
Then vice president
yes.
and president.
Yes.
So how was journey, and how did you enjoy of being the leader of AIOS?
Yeah, so I think the only election I lost, I was against Dr. Nayak as a BOA president in '98. And that time I was really depressed. Then I learned how to be not attached with any of this. And after that, in 2002, when I wanted to be scientific chairman, in 2001, Dr. Tiwari came. He said, Lalit Verma is a better candidate, why not you give it to him? I said, no, sir, I want to do it, and I can do this. He said, show me your office. How will you run the scientific office? Then when he was convinced, thanks to Dr. Tiwari, he requested Lalit not to contest against me. And I had 4 competitors. I won the election in 2002 in Ahmedabad, and no looking back after that. So I think the idea is you should go with the idea of winning, and you should win. And that's what happened with the Samar Basak also. I requested him to sit down. He said, no, why not you compete? I said, okay, let us compete. Same thing with Yogaraj Sharma. So I think when you decide, like Paul Coelho said, entire universe conspires to support you, and you'll get what you want. And that's why many things, I also follow J.R.D. Tata. Only thing I couldn't meet him, but I knew Ratan Tata is a good friend. So J.R.D. Tata said, most busy men did most of the things, most of the time. And Dr. S.N. says, lazy people don't do anything.
It's very true, very true. So this is how, so is it, Padma Shri Award.
Yes.
This is a few ophthalmologists or very, very few, doctors who have gone this, kind of the 4th highest award, civilian award.
Yeah.
So, and I can see our own Pranab Mukherjee is giving you this award.
Yes.
So, if you can describe few of them and when it was given to you.
In 2013, everybody is thinking that the Padma Shri was given for my charity, but no, in the citation also, it is for vitreoretinal surgery. So I am proud of that. Suddenly I remember Saurav, when he was analyzing the silicon oil study, he said, everywhere I find SN. So I am really happy to be part of Shankar Netralayam, because all the time we are operating and learned all the technologies, and still we teach the world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's what, like even...
In 1999, when Chief got Padma Bhushan, I was the first one to call him and wish him. And I told him, sir, one day I will also get. So for 30 seconds, there was nothing coming. So I asked him, what happened? He says, you are too much.
So there are a lot of other examples of, he is following Chief's footsteps. I'll show you what are the other examples are there. Yes. This is Retina Hall of Fame. This is a group of, international group where, that only 240 retinologists till now has been recognized for this. And the names. I will just mention one by one. Professor Harvey Linkoff, Robert McKimmer, Albert Galstrand. This is Stanley Chang, Gulam Pemen, and Professor Donald Gass, Jules Gonin, Charles Seepens, Steve Charles.
And that's Von Helmholtz.
And this is Professor Helmholtz. So he is, along with Professor Bodrinath, and he is the only 2 Indians is into this Retina Hall of Fame. Please put your hands together, and this is how Dr. Natarajan is following the footsteps of Dr. Bodrinath. This is one of the biggest achievements, sir. We salute you for this.
Thank you. And thanks to Chief for that. Because when I went to the American Society for Retina Specialists, when I just entered, they said, "Hey man, you are a famous man," they told me. I said, "What is the meaning?" He said, "You are in the Retina Hall of Fame." I didn't even know that I am already there. And that was in 2016-17. Yes. And that charter member, nobody applies because they have, most of them are no more.
Nominated, yes.
More than 100 are no more, right? From custodies to Gonin and all these people. I'm glad we are contributed for the retina. And I'm really happy that I'm with the Chief. And when I asked Chief, I don't know what I contributed, he said. I said, I also don't know, but we both are there in the chat. I'm happy Dr. Venkateswamy, Dr. G.N. Rao, Dr. Badrinath, and we four are there from the India in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, we have, he was talking about the Om Namah Shivaya and with the black coffee, but you know, the basic mantra is lying here. And this is the picture I have taken from his pocket yesterday only. Okay, this is the, I think even today also you are carrying it. It is there in your pocket, yes.
I went to the Belur Met today.
So today morning also he went to Belur Met. And he is the true disciple of Swami Vivekananda and your spiritual thinking.
Yes, so that came automatically from my childhood in the mechanical way because my father had a statement, arise, awake, stop not until you reach the goal. It was there, and then in the school elocution competition, I used to read about Swami Vivekananda and do that. And that was all mugging up, but nothing entered the heart and mind. But later in life, I realized after doing vitreoretinal surgery that sometimes many of the patients don't used to see, and when G.N. Rao used to come from US that time, hey, you guys carry your vision chart in the pocket. And now I tell them, most of my vitreoretinal surgery patients have 6/6, which people can't believe. And I think thanks to Dr. Badrinath, and I think in '86, Dr. G.N. Rao came to Shankar Netralayam to find out how to start, and we were there in the first retina meeting in '87 in L.V. Prasad with Vinod, Lakan Paul and others. He always used to tell me, you are like Ron Michaels. And I don't know, I could not meet him because he died at the age of 49. He was in Johns Hopkins. And he was a great surgeon. So I read about his book and also to imbibe. And thanks to Dr. Badrinath, we got all the, so it's all, I think, because of your prayer, your thinking, and as Paul Coelho said, and Swami Vivekananda said, you can sit inside a rock and you have good virtues, you can meditate, you don't need a WhatsApp, you don't need any marketing idea, and it'll reach the world. And you can see that. He did it in 1898, he died in 1902. 1934, Ramakrishna Math was built and constructed. And they are celebrating 125 years from May 1st. As I said, as president of Teleophthalmic Society, I will screen all diabetics in India in the next 5 years. So I take up goals which looks like not achievable, looks impossible, and I think thanks to Swami Vivekananda. And he only taught me that, which I took almost, now I'm going to be 65, even though I don't look, but it took 64 years to understand that God is within you. So I have slowly now decided not to go to temple. I'll go, but I'll not go like before. I used to go everywhere. Today also that my friend and patient told me, I'll take you to Dakshineshwar. I said, no. I want to go to Swami Vivekananda where he was living and where he started. And there is a place where Swami Vivekananda is sleeping. And today, the first time in life, I went to that place in Ramakrishna Math because I met the General Secretary. So I think all of us have God within us, and you have to realize that. And the example I read from another Sivavakya is, the two clouds, when it clashes, you get lightning, and that's God. So the God is within the cloud, and that means it's within you. So you have to awaken that. So by doing vitrectomy surgery, when the patient gets vision, I see God. And I think when I'm operating also, I feel God is operating, so that whatever happens, you don't get attached with the result. Whatever is his success, every day I bow down to Mata Pita Guru Mitra Deva, so that everything is dedicated to them. You come and you go, and you are going to be part of the ash. So life is, that's why I put the Bhasma, which means life is equal to ash as an Hindu. And one day you will be born, and one day you will be burnt to fire, and all the 5 elements are within us. So that's the great spirituality, and that's why I have the drive to do something for the whole world all the time. So now I decided that I will do most of the time for service. So I also planned, which my friend criticizes, how can you think you will live for 100 years? I don't know how many years I will live, but I have decided to serve the world from now on. So he has put that Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavati. That means whatever you wish, it will happen. Bible says, thou shall be. And in Sanskrit, Tadastu. So I wish Netralayam and all of you to succeed, and wish everybody to do. And everybody was ordinary. Whether you listen to Dr. G.N. Rao, Dr. Abdul Kalam, the power of one, Dr. Badrinath, all were ordinary. Dr. Ramakrishna school, Dr. Badrinath studied. Even though he says, I have not read scriptures, and that's what Adi Shankara said. You want to cross ocean of life, you have to do selfless service. So they alone live who live for others, rest are equivalent to dead. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We are really proud and thrilled to have you here today. And yesterday I just asked Ki, what message you want to give it to the next generation. He said, Yad Bhavam Tad Bhavati. So what do you think you will become? So think big, you will become big. A big round of applause for Dr. S. Natarajan once more.
Thank you.
And this is our, a routine, customary for you. We know this is
thank you very much.
Much more. I will request Dr. Ranjan Mukherjee.
So Ranjan Mukherjee looks like my teacher, no? And he is my fellow.
Ranjan was a fellow of Dr. Natarajan. And I'll request, please, Dr. Ashim Ghosh, Director of IIO, to join and hand over this memento.
So one thing, there's a Tamil and Bengali connection is Swami Vivekananda. And I think Swami Vivekananda, even though he was born here and became a spiritual under Ramakrishna ji and Thakurji, but when Tamil Nadu he walked and came, and then he went to Kanyakumari. I think he was awakened, and I think he got the purpose of life in Vivekananda Rock Memorial. And so same thing, whenever very rarely I'm depressed, but after I lost my grandmother, I was depressed, so I went several times to Vivekananda Rock Memorial to meditate. And I think when you meditate, you definitely you awaken your own self. So I think spirituality and science are together. That's what Dr. Kalam said. And I think many of our mentors have done that. I wish the Netralayam all the best. And as Dr. Badrinath said, let that hospital be a temple like Alaya for all the patients. And I think my prayer is we should become a blind-free India. Thank you.